The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Are you ready for the truth this morning? Can you handle the truth without coming up with fake excuses? We are about to find out. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach me live this hour, 800-848-9222. Can you handle the truth? I focus this hour on a number of things, but I'm zeroing in on the Seattle Food Festival shooting. At least 3 killed. And that was an event that sent attendees running for their lives. To the situation in the Bronx. An innocent 12-year-old boy hit and killed by a stray bullet, the son of a retired NYPD sergeant.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Torres.
And I'm Tanya Rivero. We begin with that breaking news in the Bronx. Today, 45-year-old William Ferrer was arrested for allegedly shooting and killing a young boy on his bicycle. Detectives say a group of men got into a confrontation in front of a bodega in Mount Eden yesterday evening, and that is when Ferrer opened fire. 12-year-old Jacob Freites was on his bike when he was hit in the chest by a bullet.
Now lawmakers and community leaders once again refocus their efforts to stop the senseless gun violence that continues to plague New York City.
Not just New York City, Seattle, and the rest of the country. Can you handle the truth with the message I'm about to deliver? We'll get to that in just a few minutes, but let me deviate for a little bit, for a few minutes. And for folks with Trump derangement syndrome, I want you to think about this. I want you to listen to this. Legendary boxer Mike Tyson, legendary boxer, is a big fan of Trump, has always been. When nobody else was in Tyson's corner. Trump was, even when Mike Tyson was in jail. So in this radio interview, Mike Tyson starts out by saying the president's name 3 times. That's how strong a supporter of Trump Mike Tyson is.
Trump. If I'm voting for Trump, so what somebody's going to do about it?
I don't think anybody, I'm going to disagree with you.
No, so what?
Yeah, does it make you feel weird that people...
So what? Am I going to say, yeah, man, let's go for cops killing niggas? No.
Are you a Republican?
I like who I like. Dude, if I like Donald Trump and I want to vote for him, I'm going to do it. What are you going to do? Shoot me, beat me up? I don't think so.
No.
Well, you're certainly not going to beat up Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, a big fan of President Trump, has always been a fan of his. Put that in your anti-Trump pipe and smoke on that. We are under 100 days to the midterms. President Trump doing the right thing by the American people, still fighting for the Save America Act, folks, which is really just common sense.
Well, today marks 100 days until the midterm elections, and President Trump is urging Senate Republicans to pass the Save America Act before November 3rd. The president posting this on Truth Social last night. All Republican senators terminate the filibuster, which the Democrats, his word, will do as soon as they get the chance and pass the Save America Act and everything else, including the budget and upcoming debt ceiling. Do it now before it is too late, President DJT. But some senators say it's not that easy. Here's what.
And so the bottom line is President Trump still fighting for the Save America Act. It's common sense. Democrats cut it out. We see your telephone calls coming in. We're about to begin with them momentarily. But I want you to listen just for a second before I get into my topic. Maybe we'll take a phone call or two before I zero in on my topic. I want you to listen to this for a moment. I want you to stop and listen. This is WPLG 10 News in Florida. And Monday ended the temporary protected status for 350 Haitians. And I want you to listen to this, because to me, it couldn't end soon enough. And for me, this is what the problem is. I'll explain in just a moment.
Temporary protected status for Haitians ends tomorrow, leaving hundreds of thousands of people without legal status now fearing deportation.
And Local 10's Byron Tollefson is live with one woman's story and what happens next. Byron, fill us in.
There's been so much back and forth here, right? TPS was supposed to expire on Friday and then pushed to Monday. That's tomorrow by a court. But for so long now, so many Haitians have been in limbo, like the one you're about to meet.
I feel like I'm living a nightmare. It's unjust because I have dreams, Byron. I have dreams.
Farah Laria is living in fear. She's been in South Florida since 2005, coming over from Haiti in search of a better life.
I felt that Haiti was too small for my dreams. I felt that I was tired with the situation, political instability, crime, injustice, poverty.
She's been a news personality, public relations and communications professional, and advocate for South Florida's Haitian community.
So you get the point there on the story. But did you hear her say that Haiti was too small for her dreams? Excuse me, lady, everybody on earth has dreams. That doesn't mean that you just get to come to America. That is what is wrong with the system. You have so many people from around the world that just want to get here. And here's the God's honest truth. America can't save everybody. So I want to talk for a second about what happened in Seattle and in the Bronx. So the Seattle Food Festival shooting, at least 3 dead, sent attendees running for their lives. I'm sure you've seen the video by now. So when I first traveled to Seattle, Washington as a teenager in the 1970s, it was predominantly white, and it was a beautiful area with very little crime. Seattle goes on to elect a black mayor. Cool, right? I'm sure we all believe in diversity as long as it is earned. As long as it is earned, not affirmative action. So Norm Rice becomes the first black mayor in '89, which was the same year Dinkins was elected in New York, and public safety was one of his big issues. So I went back to the Seattle area in the 80s in my senior year of high school, lived in a suburb, Edmonds, Washington, still predominantly white, a beautiful area. And when I say predominantly, I mean like 95% white. And it was still a beautiful area with very little crime. So what happens now? What happens now? The difference today is Seattle has a socialist mayor just like New York. Folks, it doesn't work. These animals committing crime, they understand one thing only. You have to keep your foot on their neck. You have to be tough. 3 strikes and you're out. That's even going too far. And as I said in the 3 p.m. show, don't dare quote me George Floyd. Don't do it. Because even in death, and I'm sorry, Mr. Floyd, but even in death, he's still continuing to screw things up. To those of you that say, how dare you? A point I made earlier today. Would you want little Susie, your daughter, bringing in a drug addict, criminal, bringing George Floyd home? Of course not. I don't think so. The more things change, the more they stay the same. In New York, we had a police commissioner by the name of Lee Brown, and a nickname took to him, Out of Town Brown. Well, what's happening in Seattle? Same thing, a African-American police commissioner, and he had a standoff face-to-face with a reporter where they had to be separated. It almost came to blows. Why? Because this police commissioner under the socialist mayor in Seattle, right, happens to be out of town a lot. This is the confrontation. These two, the police commissioner and a reporter, they almost came to blows.
I have been here working as hard as I can for this city from the day I got here. You got that?
But there are reports that you are not in town often.
Their reports are wrong. Do you understand?
Let's go, man. Let's go.
You understand?
So when
I work.
Let's go. Thank you.
The police commissioner of Seattle came mighty close to slugging this reporter. And folks, we all know you slug a reporter, it's over for your career. They were face to face in Seattle. I'm going to get to Mamdani here in New York. And so I guess let's start with the telephone calls. And I believe that's exactly what Michael in New Jersey wants to do. Line 2. Good morning, Michael. What's on your mind?
Yeah, good morning. John Cassimatidis was saying that this nonsense of having free grocery stores will never work because you can't sell food at price that it costs you or below that because you'll wind up going bankrupt. And he's 100% correct in his type of a business. The problem is that he doesn't realize it's different with the city because the city doesn't care if they take $1 million a week loss or $2 million a week loss selling food at the price that they paid or even below that because they'll say, look, so we lose money. We'll just raise taxes or we'll get the money from the state. So for a business like Cassimatidis...
Not true. But go ahead.
For a business like John Cassimatidis, he's 100% correct, but he's looking at it as a private business. The city can do things that he can't do. He has to depend on sales to make a profit. The city doesn't care if they take $1 million.
That's not true, Michael. That's not true. Come on, man. Think about this. Mamdani is under the gun on the supermarkets. If the city loses a dime more than the $70 million investment for 5 stores, which is way too much money, Mamdani will take a major hit in the media. It will be a black eye publicity-wise for him if it costs a dime more than $70 million. So it's not just as simple as saying, oh, just throw more cash after the problem. And Mamdani's got a bigger problem. Let's say that he can offer 30% off. Let's say he can, for argument's sake. You're going to run the bodegas and the other supermarkets out of business. So now the city of New York, and this is a much bigger issue, is in the business of running people out of business. That is the bigger problem for him.
On that, you're 100% correct. But as far as the news media, they are so far behind him. They'll support him no matter what. They will never say a bad word against him. Now, as
That's
far
not
as
true.
the bodegas,
That changed today. That changed today on Netanyahu. They was on his backside. Hey, Michael, thank you for the call. I got to take a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And so again, my point, whether it's Seattle with the shooting 3 dead at the food festival or New York City, what's happening in the Bronx, a 12-year-old boy, the victim of a stray bullet, his father, a retired NYPD sergeant. These things are not supposed to happen. These savages, these criminals, they understand one thing. Law and order. You have to keep your foot on their neck. And of course, we have the other issue, as it relates to Mamdani, his very contentious relationship with the city's Jewish community. I want you to listen to just a sample from this woman here of some of the things that's being said against Mamdani on social media.
people who survived 9/11 reached out to Mayor Mondami and asked him to please not participate in 9/11 memorial services. And what did he say?
People who are survivors of 9/11 are calling on you not to go to 9/11 memorial services. I wonder how you feel about the fact that they're trying to keep you away.
I will proudly honor the families, the survivors, the first responders forever impacted by that horrific terror attack by standing alongside them at this year's 9/11 commemoration, reaffirming that we will never forget the solemn day felt by all of us who call this city home and, frankly, by all of us who call this country home.
Dude, you were 7. When you grew up and went to college, you helped start an organization on your campus that was sympathetic to the same kind of terrorists who brought those towers down. You still peddle their propaganda. Your wife loves them. Your father says we should normalize suicide bombings. And the people whose families were killed in an attack and people who survived the attack asked you not to come. And you're like, oh no, I'll be there anyways. Because you're a disgusting sleazeball. And anybody who likes you and thinks you're so great is probably a disgusting sleazeball too.
So that's just one of many online, and the media finally starting to ask Mamdani some questions. Here's one of the questions he faced a few hours ago.
Understand that you're making it clear that you're criticizing a particular politician, not the ethnic group, but there have been growing concerns amongst elected officials, some of your allies, such as the Attorney General, Letitia James, about the fact that comments and rhetoric may be rising temperatures. Do you take those concerns to heart, and what is your plan to bring down those temperatures?
So I think, to your point, when I make criticisms of Prime Minister Netanyahu, they are criticisms of Prime Minister Netanyahu. And what I shared were not even, frankly, personal assessments, they were objective facts. And my responsibility as a New Yorker and as a mayor of this city is a responsibility to take care of each and every person who calls the city their home. And that is not based upon whether or not they agree with me, how they feel about me. My job is to make sure that they are safe, that they are thriving, and they continue to call this city home. And that's always going to be my North Star on how we can do that. Because this is an incredible city, and it's a city where everyone needs to know that their belonging to it is not conditional on how they feel about the mayor.
And is there a reason that you told the New York Times that you were still in active conversation with the legal department in regards to possibly following up on that arrest warrant when you were previously told that that necessarily couldn't happen?
I've said that all I have to say on that topic.
Thanks, everyone. That's all the time we have.
Right. So when the aides step in and say, thank you, Mayor, that's all the time we have, that means that the mayor was about to step in quicksand and his aides were there to save him. Mamdani, your aides are not going to be able to save you from this one. Do the right thing. Pass on the 9/11 memorial. You should not be there. Your telephone calls, 800-848-9222.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Still a lot to get to. Savannah Guthrie of the Today Show. You gotta feel bad for her. Releasing another video. We'll get to that. President Trump speaking at the General Motors facility in Michigan, out there stumping for fellow Republicans, made a very good point. And I want to know if you agree with him, because it's the truth. Ruth, President Trump says whenever a Democrat takes over a city, it becomes dirty, it smells. And you'll hear what the president had to say, but we see all your calls. Let's start with Rose, line 3, Long Island. Rose, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I just want to say that I really don't think that Danny wants to go to 9/11. He is just playing the okie doke. Oh, I'm going to arrest. He knew he couldn't arrest Netanyahu. I want to arrest him. Oh, they won't let me. I want to go. The families won't let me. He just wants somebody else to blame. He's full of crap, this guy.
Maybe you're right, Rose, but I don't think so. He wants all those international cameras. There's not a bigger forum than the 9/11 commemoration. And if he is allowed to speak, he will somehow find a way to bring up the Palestinian cause. I think he very much so wants to be there. I mean, desperately. But how do you pass up the Israeli Day Parade and then go, oops, I want to be there for 9/11? So you say it's all an act.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's just looking to blame somebody else. He wants to do it. He wants to help. He wants to arrest Netanyahu. They won't let him. He knew he couldn't. He was playing to his base. Oh, this
Absolutely.
guy's a hero. He's got to lock up Netanyahu. Rah, 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 siskumba. He couldn't do it. So now he's blaming the government. They won't let him do it. Now he wants to go to 9/11 bullcrap. He doesn't want to go. And they'll blame the families. They'll blame the petition that they're trying to, oh, I want to go. They won't let me.
No, he wants those, he wants all those cameras. Believe me. If he respects nothing else, it's the power of the media. And he thinks he can con everybody, and he wants those cameras. Thank you for the call. Interesting perspective. Let's go to Rob, line 2, Long Island. What's on your mind, Rob?
Hey, Dominic, big fan. So you said the magic words. He's looking for the cameras. I call on all of the the victims, all of the survivors to just stand up in unity and turn their back on him. The whole world will see it. And how does he answer that question? That's the one thing that they can all do, united. And what's his answer? Right,
so you're saying do a Bill de Blasio like the police of the NYPD did to de Blasio.
Exactly, but in unison, the whole world will see. You said the magic words. There's going to be a ton of cameras. What's he going to say? How's he going to answer that? He's going to smile that away? Impossible. That's my opinion.
I don't know why. Hey, Rob, help me out before I let you go. Why does he want to be there so badly?
Because he likes to put on that stupid smile, and he's going to somehow turn it into, like you said, a Palestinian. He'll drop that little teardrop in there, little seeds he'll be planting, and he thinks he's going to be, with the big smile on the front of the paper. But when they show all the people on the paper with their backs turned to him, what's he going to say when the media asks him how he feels about that?
Right.
That's
Can't get away from that.
You can't. How you go? That's massive. You said the magic words. They're going to have so many cameras there. Forget about it.
And not even necessarily the cameras, Rob, but the international feed. This is something that's going to go out to the entire world. And as a 34-year-old mayor,
CNN going to not show that?
Right? No, they'll have to show it. You can't edit that. You can't, because you'll come under tremendous criticism if you ignore the fact of families turning their backs on him. But I just don't get it.
Listening out there, that would be a supreme, a beautiful thing. Those people are still suffering.
They're still suffering, and their lives will never be the same. Rob,
I grew up in Queens. A lot of friends that got killed.
Right. I feel you. I feel you. I still remember like it was yesterday. We would have to go to the top floor for the restaurant. I think it was Windows on the World. That was the name
Windows
of it.
on the World.
And,
I knew the chef.
And oftentimes I was there for events, Yeah. So we 25 years later, we all remember almost like it was yesterday. Rob, thank you very much for the call. Absolutely. And Mom Donnie was a kid at the time. Come on, cut it out, Mom Donnie. I'm going to come back to this in your telephone calls in just 1 second. 800-848-9222. So if you folks were Savannah Guthrie, what would you do? Now, your mother's still missing. I don't want to talk about in graphic terms what could have happened to her. But, you've still got to get up, and this is a question I have for Matt Blaze. You still got to get up, go to work, smile, be on the Today Show, when in the back of your mind you have to be saying, maybe if I didn't expose my mom to all of the media exposure of putting her on television, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Savannah Guthrie, in her own words, her latest video released hours ago.
I'm coming on today with a very specific message. It has been months since our mom was taken from us. Our family is in agony. We are in a nightmare that will not end. Nothing about our situation has changed. We have done our part, and we will never stop looking for her. We will always ache for her and feel that hole in our hearts. The world can be a cruel and unforgiving place, and I know that you have tried to do things the right way. So I'm asking you, begging you, to do the right thing now. Make the right choice. Help us find her. Tell us where to look for her. I truly believe it is never too late to do the right thing. Help us bring this situation to an end. For all of us, no matter where we've been and what we've done, I believe there is always a way home. Please make the right choice.
So, Matt Blaze, how would you handle this type of situation? To me, that sounds like a statement that was written by the FBI, a psychologist telling her to talk directly to the person. They're not going to let out how much information they may have. But how would you handle this situation?
The whole thing to me at this point now, it's weird because she did this before. When it first happened, she talked to the camera, and she was there with her sister and her brother, and she talked to the kidnappers, so to speak. But now it's like, why now? It's sort of been quiet. She's gone back to work, which is also weird because I'll come home and I'll turn the TV on, the Today Show is on, and then you see her doing like some sort of cheery type of story. And I'm thinking, your mother's still missing. And I hate to say she's probably dead at this point. I mean, unless she's being held captive somewhere. And there's so many weird questions like didn't she just pay the ransom in the very beginning when they first asked? How is it that she's just going, I don't know how you go on. I mean, I guess you go, life goes on, but like, how do you go in front of the cameras? I think I'd be trying to find my mother every single second of every day. It'd be totally consumed by that.
But maybe it's therapy for her.
To be on, to just do her job?
Yes.
It
yes.
could be. It could be. And the other thing that I always thought was weird was how, when she wrote in her book about how they used to play a kidnapping game and her mother went along with it. Now, maybe this can just be coincidental, but the whole thing just seemed weird from the beginning of why Savannah Guthrie. I mean, why Nancy Guthrie? Her daughter's famous, but she's a newscaster. It's just the whole story is odd. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying it's not real. It's just there's a lot of pieces that don't make sense. And I don't know, maybe one day soon or in 10 years or 20 years, we'll actually find out what happened.
All I can say, and thanks, Matt, because I want to go back to the calls, Dorothy in Queens. But Savannah Guthrie, is probably an $8 million a year talent. And that's a lot of money. She's been there, 10 years, 15 years, Matt?
Yeah, a while.
10 years, 15 years, a while. And look at what's happening to the pro athletes. They're being robbed. The NFL players, the NBA players, their homes are being robbed. So you have people, for whatever reason, are deciding they're going to take the riches of these athletes. So I don't know. We'll revisit this. I want to get to some of these calls. Let's go to Dorothy, line 2 in Queens. Dorothy, what's on your mind?
So I'm really upset because, back in April, did Mayor Mamdani, did he not use his platform as mayor at a wreath-laying ceremony to request the return of a diamond to India? So why would the 9/11 victims want him there? Why would they? Come on. He already abused his platform, his position.
Okay, so wait, Dorothy. So wait, Dorothy. So help me out. I don't think he did that at Aretha Lane. He was asked in the Blue Room by Melissa Russo of Channel 4, and that's when he made the comment. And I think that's when. Go ahead.
I stand corrected.
No, I could be wrong. I'm just trying to remember to the best of my knowledge.
To me, though, that doesn't.
I know King Charles was coming to town, and he was asked in advance what he would talk to the king about. That's exactly what happened. And so,
as mayor of the city, representing all of the citizens of victims of a 9/11 attack, that's what you're going to ask. That's your platform. I mean, I got to tell you, I found that offensive. I did.
Right, but no. But wait, Dorothy, I think you're mixing it up a little bit. He was asked what would he talk to King Charles about. That's what he made the comment. It wasn't about 9/11.
But it was
it was still highly inappropriate.
Right. Wasn't King Charles visiting the 9/11 memorial?
And that was one of many stops that the king made. Yes.
Okay. And
it was still highly inappropriate.
Yes, so your concern as mayor is a diamond for India. I'm sorry. I can't really blame. Can you see why the 9/11 families would feel like this is not someone who's representing their interests at all? This is what he thinks of?
Hey, Dorothy, what I would be saying to myself is that it's not one or two families. They've got 16,000 signatures that don't want him there. That you got an awful lot of people that have signed this that don't want you there.
Exactly. And why do you think that is?
You already know. I don't have to tell you, Dorothy. You already know what time it is.
I'm just, I just find it, I personally found whether that was just a theory, something he was going to say or he did say, or again, I'm sorry, you're here to represent the interests. You're a mayor of the city of New York.
You are correct. You are correct. You're supposed to eat, sleep, drink New York City on everything. As the mayor of this city. After all, why did you want the job if that's not what your goal is?
Well, to get a diamond back for India? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Come on. Really?
I'm with you. I'm with you, Dorothy. I'm with you on that. I thank you for the telephone call. Folks, 800-848-9222. When I come back, we'll go to Vincent in Brooklyn. Also, President Trump speaking in Michigan, declaring when Democrats take over a city, the city becomes dirty and it smells. We are coming right back. 800-848-9222.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we see your telephone calls, but I want you to hear this. President Trump, and I stopped and thought about it. He's right. When a Democrat gets control of a city, it becomes dirty, nasty, and smelly. And crime goes up. President Trump at the General Motors facility just a few hours ago in Michigan.
But I'm just thinking about it. This is maybe going to make news because I've never said it. I'm just thinking about it now. When they take something over, it's always dirty. The sidewalks are dirty. The people are, I hate to say this, not clean, okay? The curbs are loaded with you-know-what. The smell is terrible. I mean, I see it happening to cities. Blue cities are all blue. They're all blue. We don't have problems with the Republican-run cities, I mean, for the most part. But they're dirty. I said to somebody about a certain city, I don't want to say the name of it, but it's run by the radical left. I said, how is it doing? Because I love it. And they said, it's filthy dirty. It's so dirty, they've never seen it like that. It's so filthy dirty. And I just thought of it. Nobody ever says that. You know, I'm sort of a clean freak. I like clean. Do you ever see Washington, D.C.? Do you see Washington? What happened? Washington, D.C., it was filthy. Graffiti all over the place. We fixed up 72 monuments and fountains, and we've done an unbelievable. We took the graffiti off the beautiful marble columns. We have new grass going down. But you know what we did the best? We stopped crime in Washington. It's down 88%. And we moved out over 5,000 career animals. We moved them out, and it's really considered a very safe city. All the restaurants were closing up. Nobody wanted to operate a restaurant. We have a great restaurant here. Where are you from, Michigan? Where's my restaurateur? He was one of the great. Where's Mark? Mark, you're right. How'd you get such a good seat? He's a great restaurateur, but everything you have is clean. But you know, it's true. And I'm just saying, they take over. Everything becomes disgusting and dirty. It's dirty and filthy and grimy. It's not clean anymore.
The president making a point. I don't think you can disagree with that. He is accurate. Let's go back to the telephone calls. Let's see here. Let's go to Vincent, line 1 in Brooklyn. Good morning, Vincent. What's on your mind?
Good evening, Dom. That old red, that old windbag, Bernie Sanders doesn't know what he's talking about when he speaks about the benefits of socialized medicine. I have a lot of friends to this date that live in Italy, work in Italy. Some are retired. My friend last year told me that he had a hernia and he went to the doctor, and first off, the doctor scores it. Well, it's not this bad, it's not that bad. He is still waiting to get his hernia operation. Over here, even a person on Medicaid or Medicare would have been able to get that surgery within 2 weeks. And you want to talk about what they take out of your pay? One day on a Saturday afternoon, we were having lunch, and he showed me his pay stub, what they take out of his pay for that garbage health care, which, depending where you live in the country, is either better or worse. The further south you go, well, you're going to have to bring your own sheets, pillowcases, and towels, and you may have to sleep in the corridor because the rooms are overcrowded. And what's more is, because the government determines your salary depending on where you live, a doctor and a nurse, they tell you what you're going to make. The doctors and the nurses are leaving the national health care system in droves because, like any good socialist country over there, you either could work for the private sector or you work for the national system. You can't do both. And since the national system is broken and doesn't pay as well as the private system, doctors and nurses are leaving in droves. And I have friends who, in addition to being forced to pay into that corrupt social system, they also have to buy private health care. So they're paying a double whammy. So that old geezer who wants to talk about everybody else being rich, yet he owns 4 houses, he doesn't
Bernie
know what
Sanders.
he's talking about.
I hear you, Vincent. And to the caller on hold, I'm sorry I can't get to the next call. I'm completely out of time. I will be back 3 p.m. Eastern. I want you folks to do me a favor. Have a great overnight. I'll see you at 3 p.m.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?